I'm Owen Bigland. This is the Inside Pitch video blog. Happy weekend, everyone. Happy Saturday. Want to go back into my mailbag here on some of the comments I've had in my YouTube channel here. I did that video about a month and a half ago on, making your first $1 million, the road to the first $1 million. And it's not going to be quick. It's a long journey to get to that first $1 million. And it's not going to be easy, as you guys know, as I've talked to you on that blog and if you've read my book. You're not going to notice much in the first 5, 10, even the first 15 years, but it's amazing what compounding, the eighth wonder of the world, will do for you, or what Warren Buffett calls the snowball. And when I was coming up here at the ranks in the real estate business and saving my money and slowly building my real estate portfolio and my stock portfolio, the books I would read, and I still think this is true today, that first $1 million, as I used to say, is a bitch. And it's the toughest, and I totally agree. But I had a guy on my channel here comment on that and say he enjoys my blogs and everything, and he was in his, I believe, in his late 20s or early 30s, had been investing, owned some real estate, and had a net worth now, just over $1 million. And now he's struggling. He says he was struggling anyways to how do I get to the next level, the $2, the $3 million. Well, I think at his age, first off, you're doing very well. He said that first $1 million was easy, and that, I'm struggling now to get to my second and third $1 million. Well, I would say just give it some time. I think the first $1 million in net worth is very difficult to get and commendable. You've done it way earlier than I did. I'm an old guy now, but I was not in my late 20s and had $1 million net worth, even with inflation. It takes time. It's that eighth wonder of the world, compounding, and it will sneak up on you. As I've said many times on this channel on Saturdays, it's just take small steps, enjoy the ride. Don't try and take shortcuts, because that's what these guys all allude to. They get that first $1 million or first $500,000, and then they start watching some funny YouTube channels, and they start following some guys on Twitter that are telling them to buy crypto or NFTs, or there's ways to you're doing it too slow, and they stray off track. I had a guy that I did that blog the other day, a couple weekends ago, same thing, where he had a good program in place and then started chasing all these meme stocks and crypto and ended up losing a bunch of money. Don't fall for that. Stay with the program. So I want you guys to look up an interesting graph here that I've seen many times in books and Wall Street Journal and everything else. Look up Warren Buffett's net worth over the years, and you will see the power of compounding. Go into Google and just put in Warren Buffett's net worth over the last 50 years. It's incredible. Warren Buffett, just give you an idea here, he did not become a millionaire. He became a millionaire at age 30. That's when he became a millionaire. But just look at these numbers here. At age 30, he had a net worth of $1 million. At age 35, $26 million. At age 39, $25 million. So it went down in 4 years. At age 43, he spiked up to $34 million. Age 44, $19 million. Bad year, a couple of bad years in the stock market. That's the way it will go. But if you look at the graph of him, you will see from the age of 30 all the way to age 91, it just completely spikes up here at the end. To give you an example, at age 53, he had $620 million. $620 million, a lot of money. At age 66, he had $17 billion. At age 72, he had $36 billion. Age 83, he had about $52 billion. And at age 91, $91 billion. So it sneaks up on you. Don't fall for I'm not going quick enough and I've got to accelerate my net worth here. That's how you make really bad decisions and get sidetracked and end up losing a lot of money. And that's what Warren Buffett, that's what a guy like Jack Bogle or Peter Lynch. I'm reading a really excellent book that I'm going to give you guys a review on here later this winter that just talks about, staying the course. As a matter of fact, for what this book recommends, as a lot of books, probably stay away from even buying individual stocks, which I've told you guys as well. Your first couple $100,000 should just be in low-cost index funds. That's the best way to go. And even with me, 50 cents of every dollar I invest is just going into the indexes. The other 50 cents, I'm topping up Johnson & Johnson or Pepsi or the Canadian banks or Bell Canada, keeping it slow and steady. But Final few things I'll just say here. Don't try and take shortcuts. The power of compounding. Look up what Warren Buffett's net worth has done over the last 50 years and how that builds. Personally, from my own experience, I've told you guys, and if you read my book, you know, I bought my first condo coming up to 35 years now. 35 years ago. I still own it. I did not notice much in the first 15 years of investing. Sure, my stock portfolio was slowly going up. I didn't have a lot of powder, of dry powder to put in there every year because I wasn't earning a ton of money, nowhere near what I am now, of course. But you just keep putting more in. Every year you earn a little bit more from your career or from your job. It allows you to put a little bit more money into your RRSP. And then, of course, hopefully you're building some money into a non-registered accounts too. You just keep inching away at it. Eventually, you know, you're earning $15,000 or $20,000 in dividends, and that keeps getting rolled back in. Eventually, with your real estate portfolio, interest rates have had a nice drop here over the last 8 or 9 years. We're going up now. But of course, with the amortization tables with mortgages, you know, in the early years, it's mostly interest. As you get into 10, 15, 18 years on the mortgage, now you're chipping off a lot of principal. I always tell people to go onto that calculator.net website and plug in their mortgage calculator. So in the first 10 years of owning investment properties, it's all going to interest, and you're probably supplementing what your tenant is paying you. But it all starts to shift later on, especially if you get the tailwinds where the interest rates start to go down. You've had the house for 12 or 13 years. Now you're doing a tremendous amount of damage to that principal every year. So your net worth will really start to grow there as well. But stick with the program. There's no quick way to do it. The compounding, do me a favor and go onto Google and just start. There's so many great things on compounding. If you put $1,000 a month away, earning 4% every month from age 30 to 40 to 50, and what that will compound. Or there's some incredible ones where if you just put a lump sum in of $50,000 at age 30, what that will do, and you're earning 8% on it, what compounding will grow that to by the time you're 65. You'll look at that number and say, this can't be right. How is this possible? $50,000 at age 20 will grow to $7 million at age 65 without putting any more money in. It's true. That's compounding. That's keeping it in through thick and thin. There'll be some years there where you earn 10, 11% return. There'll be other years where you're down 5%. There'll be other years where it stays flat and you only earn 1 or 2%. But over time, that's what that compounding will do for you. It's that snowball effect. As it rolls down the hill, the snowball gets bigger and bigger, picks up more snow, and it becomes effortless after 10 or 15 or 20 years. That's when you'll start to notice it. I'm Owen Bigland. Hopefully everyone has a good weekend. I'll see you next week.